Hello peeps, in this video I'm going to show you a way to think through a vocal edit or any playlist based edit really, but I'll use the one that we had last week. So we have a few musical phrases here to guide us so we can check key and we can check timing with the drums, and here's my way or one way of doing it. So first thing I did in the playlist was make sure that my edit into playlist comp master, with the one without a number, usually Pro Tools goes up, 0.1, 0.2, or 0.01, 0.02, and so on. But the first one has no point. These have all got DUP on them because I made a duplicate playlist. So obviously what we want is some keyboard shortcuts. So if you didn't know, if you click into a track in Pro Tools and you Shift S, then you will solo and unsolo. And that also applies to the playlist. So we've soloed the playlist track master, the vocal lead. And what we're now going to do is, come down here and then we'll Shift S here and we're listening to just that take. Riders on the storm. And then it's just a case of listening through. Riders on the storm. And like we discussed in class last week, thinking of where you are in the arrangement and what expression you want from the vocalist at that point in the takes that you've got. Like a dog without a bone, an actor out all alone, riders on the storm. So we can check the next one, drop in, Shift S. Riders on the storm. Like that, nice breathy. Riders on the storm. But we might want to jump into here. Riders on the storm. A little bit strange there on the timing, but that's okay. Riders on the storm. So I quite like that kind of bluesy slide. So maybe I want to send that up to my master up here. So V being the paste key, what we're going to do here is Control, Option, and V. Doink. And you can see that it pops it straight up into my master. So let's say I like that one as the first, that one is the second, maybe this one is the fourth, and so on. So here what we're doing, and I'm going to do it in fast forward because I don't have a lot of time, is we're simply selecting the takes that we like, okay? And once we've made a compilation of the vocal tracks that we enjoy, this is what we'd end up with. And you can see that for every copy and paste, so Control, Option, and then V, zoink, it throws it up to the comp master track up here, the one that we currently have selected. So if we did that, these would stay. So that's first step initiated. So it's a lot of listening and a lot of simple deciding creatively. So I've done this version and I've done this version, and then we have a few things that we need to take care of. So with something as simple as this, where each vocal phrase is large enough to be recognized, it's not very percussive, it's not very fast, what I'd probably do is make sure we have up here tab to transient on. Once that word gets out of the way, tab to transient on, because what this would allow me to do is pop my cursor in there, hit the physical tab key, and then I will come to the front of the track. You can see there, yeah, and maybe just come back a little and trim to there. We can zoom in using R and T because keyboard focuses on up here, and then I could grab a little fade in, zoom out. If we have the selection, we can go right to left with our arrow keys, as you can see, zoom in a little, hard right, come back out, and what do we want? Maybe we want, I'm in grid mode, so you can see that my grid is going to lock my fade to the next subdivision. What subdivisions are we using? We're in beats and bars, so we're going to have an 8th note fade. That should be fine, and we can nudge that just along a little there, and the movement will be snapped to the grid as well, unless we hold down Command to temporarily defeat it, and as you can see here, we're now in kind of free time or slip. So we'll pop that there, and you would just be repeating this process for every one of those vocal fades, quite frankly. There's no reason why you shouldn't. Check your fades, obviously. Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. And once you're happy with your edits, you can obviously crossfade by holding down the bottom of 2 adjacent clips. And then once you've faded everything and you're happy with it, you can grab some other ones and just hit the F key, and that will add the default Pro Tools fade in and fade out, which is a tiny little snippet. At least you know you're not clipping. There's multiple ways that you can do this. Again, I'm doing this fast forward. So once we've faded, once we've edited, got rid of any dead air or lip smacks or headphone clangs against the mic or whatever it might be, and we're happy that we want to commit this performance, we're going to come back, we're going to click the first, we're going to shift click the last, first and last, or you could come in and triple select, and that will select every clip within a track, or triple select everything within your entire mix. But we're going to triple select. But now we have a point of interest. We need to come in and see where the beats are starting, right? So we don't want this clip to just start anywhere, because if you drag this rendered, consolidated, glued together multi-performance in your DAW, it's just going to slap it right at that little start bar there, that little start line here. And that's going to be out of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to triple select all of our stuff. So we've got the first and we've got the last, and we're going to shift select, so we're adding to the selection until this bar, which is for us, it isn't bar one, it's because we have a little pre-roll for the recording, but it is the first part of the beat. So if we know that that beat is going to match up with this part of the vocal, we should be good to go. Then we're going to go edit and consolidate clips, or as we know, option shift 3. And then Pro Tools is going to render our fades, that's important, and it's also going to render in some silence so that that is going to match up perfectly with this. So when we drop it into Reaper or Logic or Live or whatever DAW of your choice, that's what you would use. And that would be my quick vocal edit alignment kind of test video for you. So Shift S in the track that you're in to solo. That also works in playlists. And if you make a selection, you want to pop it up to your master, it's Control Option Paste, and that's where it goes. Okay, perfect. Don't forget, edit, 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 fade, 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 using the F key, or using the drag and drop fade amounts up the top here, so long as you have Smart Tool on. How do we switch Smart Tool on? This little rubber band at the top, or F7 and F8 mashed together, so long as you have keyboard on, not the Apple keyboard. And then we will select the first and select the last by triple clicking. Be cautious of our start point. Where are our beats? Trim it to the start of the bar so that it works in any DAW. And then edit, consolidate, or option shift 3, and you're good to go. Okay, I hope that this helps.